Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about Nyquist criteria for distortionless transmission, or it is also called as Nyquist criteria for zero ISI. In our previous lecture, we have studied baseband data transmission system, in which we got an equation of receiver output which is given as YITB is equal to mu summation k is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity AK P in bracket ITB minus KTB plus NITB. In this equation, we are not taking the term NITB as it represents the noise sample. In this section, we will discuss only about ISI, ignoring the effect of channel noise. Since we are transmitting square pulse through a band limited channel, if we take Fourier transform of square pulse, it extends from minus infinity to plus infinity. It consists of infinite number of frequency, and the higher frequency define the edges of square pulse. That's why when the square pulse is transmitted through a channel which is band limited, it spill over to the adjacent time slots. Therefore, we need to design an optimum receiver to minimize the effect of ISI. For that, we need to select appropriate shape of the pulse PT in order to avoid the effect of ISI. That is given by Nyquist criteria for distortionless transmission. During the decoding of ith transmitted pulse, the contribution of AK multiplied by P in bracket ITB minus KTB for K is equal to I should be free from ISI. That is given by P ITB minus KTB is equal to 1 for I is equal to K and is 0 for I is not equal to K. If we substitute I is equal to K in this particular equation, we will get P0, and where P0 is equal to 1 by normalization. If PT satisfies the conditions, the receiver output will become YITB is equal to mu AI. That we have already discussed in our previous lecture. So this is only the useful content in the receiver output, mu AI. So which implies zero ISI. Hence, the two conditions ensure perfect reception in the absence of noise. Thus, the Nyquist criteria for distortionless transmission state that the pulse shaping function PT with Fourier transform PF satisfies summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity P in bracket F minus NRB is equal to TB. That is PITB minus KTB is equal to 1 for I is equal to K and is 0 for I is not equal to K. So these two equations will show 0 ISI, and we need to prove this equation summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity P of F minus NRB is equal to TB. That is the condition for 0 ISI. So this is the proof. Let us, our pulse is PT, our received pulse is PT with impulse response S delta T with a period equal to TB. Okay, so P delta T is equal to PT multiplied by S delta T. This comes from our sampling. Okay, taking Fourier transform on both sides, we will get P delta F is equal to P of F convolution S delta of F. And also we know that multiplication in time domain is equivalent to convolution in frequency domain. Now this P delta F can be written as P of f convolution Fs summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity delta f minus nfs. S delta of f is written as Fs summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity delta f minus nfs. To understand it better, let us recall the sampling. We have already discussed in our lectures time domain representation and frequency domain representation. So, G delta t is equal to Gt multiplied by S delta t, where S delta t is our Dirac comb or our impulse train, and this impulse train can be written as S delta t is equal to summation delta t minus nts. By multiplying these two, we will get summation GNTS delta t minus NTS. By shifting property, we can write it like this. So here G delta t is equal to summation GNTS delta t minus NTS. Now coming to the frequency domain representation, G delta f is equal to G of f convolution S delta of f. Now G delta f is equal to G of f convolution S delta of f can be written as Fs summation delta f minus nfs. So we have substituted the value of S delta f as Fs summation delta f minus nfs. Now again, by convolution property of impulse function, we can write it as Fs summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity g of f minus nfs. These equations we are using in this particular derivation. Now coming to our proof, P delta of f is equal to Pf convolution Fs summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity delta f minus nfs. Now let Fs is equal to 1 by Tb, and we know that 1 by Tb is equal to Rb, that is our bit rate. So substituting Fs as Rb in our equation, we will get P of f convolution Rb summation delta f minus nRb. Now again, as we have done in our sampling, by using convolution property of impulse function, we will get P delta of f is equal to Rb summation P of f minus nRb. Okay. Now also we know that we can also derive P delta of f by taking integration from minus infinity to plus infinity P delta t e raised to minus j 2 pi ft dt by taking Fourier transform, or P delta t is equal to Pt summation m is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity delta t minus mtb. So this equation actually we have taken from the sampling. Okay, so we will substitute this P delta t as Pt summation m is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity delta t minus mtb. Now by shifting property, we will get it like this, as we have done in our sampling. Okay. Now we have substituted P delta of t as summation P of mtb delta t minus mtb. We have taken a new variable, that is m, rest is same. Okay. So your equation of P delta of f is equal to integration of minus infinity to plus infinity, then the value of P delta of t, then e raised to minus j 2 pi ft dt. Now let the integer m is equal to I minus k. Then I is equal to k corresponds to m equal to 0, and I is not equal to k correspond to m is not equal to 0. So as we know that this is the condition for 0 ISI, that is PITB minus KTB is equal to 1 for I is equal to K and 0 for I is not equal to K. So this can be written as P of in bracket I minus K bracket close TB, that is equal to 1 for I is equal to K and 0 for I is not equal to K. Since we have taken an integer m is equal to I minus K, we can write it as P of mTB is equal to 1 for m is equal to 0, that means I is equal to K, and 0 for m is not equal to 0 or I is not equal to K. Okay, so now we have used P of mTB as P of 0 by this equation, and we can substitute in the previous equation. Okay, that is P delta of f is equal to integration from minus infinity to plus infinity. In place of P of mTB, we have written as P of 0, then delta t minus mTB, right? So delta t minus 0, that is delta t e raised to minus j 2 pi ft dt. So in place of mTB, we have used 0. Okay, that's it. So we know that integration from minus infinity to plus infinity delta t e raised to minus j 2 pi ft dt, that is equal to 1, because it is valid only at t is equal to 0, right? So the value is 1. So we will get only P delta of f is equal to P0. Since P0 is equal to 1 by normalization, we will get P delta of f is equal to 1. So this is the first equation that we have seen. First we have calculated your P delta of f is equal to RB summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity P of f minus n RB. Okay, and in the place of P delta f, we have written as 1. So this RB will come here, that means 1 by RB, that is equal to TB. So our equation changes to summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity P of f minus n RB is equal to TB. This equation we need to prove, right? Okay, so in this particular system, we have seen that when AK passes through transmit filter, channel and receive filter with impulse response of GT, HT and CT respectively, we will get the pulse PTS output.